Hey, it's Eric Holland. It's top 10 time for 2009. I'm always acutely aware of my own prejudices and my own little universe and how it shapes my selections for this thing. I try to be fair, and the criteria I always use, or criterion because it's only one, is what I listen to the most. I try to dismiss any notion of what's important, influential, or what I'm trying to champion. For example, I want to put Iggy Pop's Preliminaires on this list, but I don't think it's as good as the other 10. I also have a yen to put on Them Crooked Vultures, but I've only had a month to digest that album, and I feel like it isn't quite worthy, although I may very well feel differently in 2 or 3 months. On with the 10 then. You can see it pictured above my little bald head, and you see there's not a lot of new music up there. This very much was a year of rediscovery and going back to people who I was turned on to 10 or 20 years ago. And, you know, this is another prejudice. I would rather champion new music than people who have been around the block a few times, but that's just not how it unfolded this year. It was more of an appreciation for The Edge and Jay Mascis and Thurston Moore. You know, these people who have tremendous bodies of work, but who have added to it substantially in 2009. People like Trey and Eddie Vedder and yes, Green Day. Now, number one this year for me was a no-brainer. This Green Day record, 21st Century Breakdown, is far and away the best album of 2009 without any real dissonance in my little brain. I absolutely fell in love with Brendan Benson this year. The record he put out, My Old Familiar Friend, is a solid number 2, and I really got turned on to a lot of his older stuff this year too. Seeing him live was a revelation, and Corey Chisel was really the other major discovery for me. Brendan, not so much a discovery, but an exploration of a guy who I was aware of. Where Chisel, I had a chance to see him 3 times, and every time I saw him, I was more convinced that this guy is somebody I should be spending time with. And whenever I did put in that album, Death Won't Send a Letter, I felt very rewarded. Lastly, the Wilco record, you know, I'd love to ignore, as you know, there's this wicked backlash against these guys, really, and their kind of unimpeachable position as these hip, smart dudes who everybody loves in a certain set. But I think the reality is it's a very good record, and I have it in my top 10 without any qualms. I guess that's it. Yeah, The Dead Weather. Jack White, you know, come on, I love the guy. I'll see you later in 2010, and thanks for checking out The Tunnel this time, and in previous times and in the future. Hang loose.